Thank you. Shall we? Good morning, friends. Morning has broken like the first morning. And those of you already with us this morning, good morning, Paul. You are the absolute early birds of the early birdhood. Is that Miles? Hey, buddy. Can't see you all because it's not so well lit and you are with masks on. But thank you for coming early, and if you're joining us online, Shana Tova, wherever you are in the world. We're going to start with just adjusting our vocal cords to the reality of a new day. So feel your jaw. Good morning, Stuart. I hope you're all caffeinated, or whatever gets you to start this day. Feel your body stretch and wake. Sing along with us with this nigun we love. Want to start it? na 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 Wow, look at you early birds. Good morning and Shana Tova. Nice to see you, Evan. Welcome back. Hi, Dara and Shoshana and Wayne. And those of you in the back who I still don't recognize. Hi. Hi, Stuart and Paul. Hi, everyone who's joining. And if you're online, maybe put in the comments where you are zooming in from, not zooming, Facebook and YouTubing in from, so we can see the river of life. And we welcome us all on this first day of this new year to begin together. Welcome, welcome. An exciting day. We're going to begin, as we begin many days, by wrapping ourselves with intentionality. Some of you might already have a prayer shawl, and some of us today, I imagine, to use an imagined one. So this is the one I reserved for the days of awe. And it says, B'it'atef alai nafshi et havaya zacharti. When I wrap this, it is as though my soul is giving me an ancient hug. This is also a great yoga stretch. Anyone did yoga already this morning? I did not. It was an early morning. So this is it. I invite you to, whether you're home or here, do a bit of shoulder rolling and stretching. Here's how you do it. Arms in front, as though you are holding a prayer shawl. And if you're actually holding a prayer shawl, why don't you do that? Okay, got it? Arms in front, straight. Feel, if you are able to, your arms extended, your shoulders, always good posture and core, right? We got it? Derek's got his, Rebecca has hers, Marcus, and then very slow motion. Oh, and even if you don't have a talit, just imagine, it's like your great-grandmother's security blanket coming around your shoulders this morning, wrapping yourselves in extra skin, in something very warm and loving, in presence for this day of intention and reflection and presence, the first day of a year. The blessing we use, Ruach, Spirit, Baruch Ata Adonai, say it with me, Eloheinu, Ruach HaOlam, Asher Kitshanu b'mitzvot v'tzivanu lit'atef b'tzitzit. In the presence of the infinite, we are here now. Take another breath. Feel your body extend to this day. We're here for some quiet time before more people join us. So this is cardio. This is workout inside. Feel your heart pump open. Thank you, Lisa. A couple stretches can never hurt. Feel your feet wiggle on the ground. We're moving deeply into the day's theme, which is Shiviti. You might see it on the slide that's coming up. Shiviti is an ancient art form that, as some of you already know, you may have joined us last night or throughout the month of Elul. Shiviti is about having visual reminders that we are always invited to be present in the presence of presence. This one is Polish, several hundred years old. You see the word Shiviti in Hebrew, smack in the middle, right above the three menorot, these three light fixtures that are supposed to light us up. There's a lot of text in there, and usually the words are Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid. I imagine the four-letter name of God, Yud Hey Vav Hey, but we're going to play with that a little bit today, as we do in God Optional Lab Shul style. So we're going to try with the word Havaya. Havaya is another way of saying Yud Hey Vav Hey, God's four-letter name. It means existence. It means presence. It's non-gendered. It isn't patriarchal hierarchy. Havaya means Havaya. And you probably remember, Dara, that you led us on an amazing breathing meditation at one of the quarantine soul spas with using Havaya. I still go back to that box breathing exercise. So Marcus is going to help us, and then Rebecca and Leo and Reverend Derek, who's here. We're all going to sing together, and we invite you to sing a few times this Shiviti. And I invite you to close your eyes, perhaps, and try visualizing. What are we in the presence of? What are you in the presence of today? What's showing up?
Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Havaya. So what is this word Shiviti that last night we began looking at? Shiviti means to visualize, to imagine that you are in the presence of, that you are present with. Here's another Shiviti. This is an art piece from Morocco, from Northern Africa, from also a couple hundred years ago. You find so many of them, and once you start looking, you can't stop seeing them. And the idea is to not stop seeing you in the presence of what sees you. Shiviti is a reminder to be present. And the words we use, Havaya, Shekhinah, Adonai, are metaphors, reminders for what it means to be here. So let's try it again. This next slide, we replace the word Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, Adonai, Yahweh, Havaya with Shekhinah, the Hebrew feminine divine, the presence of all that dwells. So I want again to invite you to go deep inside and imagine, what am I in the presence of today? Is it Mother Earth? Is it the Great Spirit? Is it some voice inside of you that helps you find grounding, especially when things are rocky, or just right now? As more of you join us, good morning, Jar. Hello, Rima, and your fan club over there. Let's go back into Shiviti, and this time Shekhinah. Shiviti Shekhinah
Lenegdi Tamid.
Shiviti Shekhinah Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah lenegdi tamid. Shiviti Shekhinah.
So what does it mean to Shiviti Shekhinah? Several years ago, mid-pandemic, I wound up for a few days upstate. And my morning practice is that I sit and wrap myself in my talit and say, Boker Tov Abba, to the talit I wrap, which was my father's. And I say thank you, as we will in a moment, guided by Rebecca, to whatever comes my way. And I breathe, and I stretch. And I started saying Shiviti. And I had this inspiration because I sat under a tree and opened my eyes, and whatever I saw in front of me, I thought, that's the universe looking back at me. It was a tree. Inside the tree, there was an eye. You know, those places where the trees grow. And I was like, oh my God, the tree is looking at me. And it wasn't, but perhaps it was. And so since that day, every day when I wake up, I sit in some sort of a morning meditation. And whatever I look at, whatever my eye meets is what meets me. And if it's in the same living room where I sit daily, still it's something new. Even if I'm in the same spot, on the same cushion, every morning. So I want to invite you right now to imagine where you are in your most favorite space. Maybe that's right here, right now. Welcome back. Maybe inside. And when you open your eyes, what's looking at you? Who's looking at you that says, I got you. I'm holding you. I see you. You're safe here. You are held. Those are the synonyms of Havaya, of Adonai, of Shekhinah. So close your eyes for just a second. Imagine, visualize what, where, who is holding you right now. If nothing comes, nothing is beautiful. If it's a weird image, like a lion with pink eyes, where did you just come from? Good morning. Or this Shiviti in front of us on the screen that has been used exactly for this purpose, for generations. A menorah, some words, sometimes images, a gate that welcomes you on this first day into yourself, a better version. Upgrading the version, starting now. Download, go. So look at the next slide. We opened the Shiviti as an invitation for what is your metaphor? Shiviti, fill in the blank, lenegdi tamid. So what is your synonym? What word, what image would come up for you today to help us all ground? And if you're watching us online, please use the comments to put what you see or what you want to fill in this
river of life that we will read together as a poem. And those of us here this morning, we'd love to hear from you in just a moment. Shiviti, fill in the blank. Let's see what shows up this morning. So I'm putting in a lion with pink eyes. What you got? Shiviti, fill in the blank. Imotenu, Shiviti Imotenu, our mothers. Thank you, Paul. Shiviti.
Blowing leaves.
The blowing leaves. Shiviti, blowing leaves. The autumn season. Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti.
Snow-covered mountains.
Shiviti, snow-covered mountains. Lenegdi Tamid. We're changing seasons here. I like it. Big smiles.
Big smiles.
Even with masks on. Shiviti, big smiles.
I see your
Lenegdi
smile.
Tamid. Shiviti, a large circle of people standing, holding hands. Lenegdi Tamid. These are the images that give us the sense of being. I love these. A couple more. Mishpacha, family. Shiviti, family. Lenegdi Tamid. Good morning, family. Ah, says the young father who hasn't slept much. Shiviti, the laughter of the young child and his loving parents. Shiviti, keep them coming. What is your presence this morning? Shiviti, being together here with your son. I see several family constellations here, and some of our families are here in spirit. So here's all the ways we are together. So keep them coming in the comments. Keep them coming. Whisper to each other. Let's sing this one more time and just keep it open.
Shiviti,
All of it.
Shiviti,
Lenegdi Tamid.
Shiviti,
Lenegdi
Tamid.
Lenegdi Tamid. Take a look around, see what's in front of you. Maybe take a look behind you if you're sitting here. See someone sitting behind you, in front of you, to your right, to your left. Take a look into a flower or into air. Shiviti, Havaya, all of us together now. And if you are just joining us, what a pleasure to see you. Welcome all. Our brother Reverend Derek McQueen has joined us all the way from St. James up in Harlem to grace us yet again with your wise presence. And Reverend Derek has written a poem for this new day.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
It is an honor to be here and to be asked to be a part of this, not to be asked to be invited. It has been several months in which I have been steeped in Shiviti, and it has changed my conscience. I was asked to write a poem about this morning and about what it meant to be in the presence of that moment, you know, when you wake up and you open your eyes and you can't quite tell if it's morning or if it's night still, and then you sort of start to wake up a little bit and figure it out, and you still are just in that space of time. So I've written this poem for us entitled, The Time Before New. Making out the colors of that time scrambles from dreamscape to waking. Deep, rich, darker than black hues, shifting as purple shimmers hints of flickering gold. Or rather, is it the red-yellow hues of orange emerging from the unnameable violet? Waking speaks to mind. These things are not so. Be still. Just listen for the imperceptible. Relieved, the mind eases and finally hears her song. She, the whirling dervish of twilight's morning winds, moves her sister's light through her spectrums. Eyes opened, mind hearing. The soul opens to the gift of this new present presence. Now the gates are opened. And in this no time, no space, and nowhere, Mother Morning embraces, and her morning robe fills the sky with a canvas of miracle masterpiece. Her song is welcome. Welcome to me. Welcome to life today. Welcome to new.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you is where we are right now. In our tradition, we begin each morning with gratitude. The first words out of our mouth before we reach out for our phone. If possible, we start by saying, Modeh, Moda, Modim, Ani. What am I grateful for on this and every morning? So I invite us into gratitude mode. Start thinking. What are some of the top 3 to 5 items on your gratitude list this morning? נשמתי בחמלה רבה, אמונתך. I am grateful this morning that Rebecca composed this tune to these beautiful words with this beautiful soulful melody, and for the poem that was brand new for this day, for us being together, alive and well in this space. Let's take nothing for granted. And what's on your thank you list this morning? Folks online, please fill the comments with your gratitude so we can all witness each other's witnessing of what is good. And those of us here in the room, can you shout out? Can we have at least 10 juicy thank yous? What's on your list? Thank you for teachers. Yes, for reminding us. Thank you. Thank you, nurses and all medical staff, for healing and patience. Life, big one. Thank you for life right now. Louder. Thank you for water that sustains our thirst. Thank you for medicine in its many, many forms. Thank you for clean air. Thank you for community as it forms. Thank you for plants that give us oxygen. Thank you for your dog and all dogs. Where's Alice? Probably playing with the dog outside. Excellent. What else is on our gratitude list this morning? Get specific. For grandchildren. Amen. For health. Yes. And for love. Yes. And for fun. Yes. Chocolate, anyone? Get specific. What kind of ice cream flavor are you grateful for today? Thank you. Get specific, people. Did anybody see the sunrise today? It was beautiful. The rain has passed, and the rain last night was spectacular. Thank you for all this and more. Keep them coming. And the flowers, and all of nature. Chocolate babka. I thought I said chocolate vodka, but that too. Whatever makes you happy, please keep that list going. And maybe there is somebody that you can text or call today on this first day of the year. And if you don't use electronics, do it later to say thank you for being in my life. Because we forget. And maybe you're going to look in the mirror and say that to yourself. And maybe remember that Shiviti means being in the presence of presence and saying thank you for giving me the chance for another day to be alive. How will I not squander this gift? So let's sing this a couple more times and deepen into thank you. Lefanecha ruach chai vekayam modeani lefanecha ruach chai vekayam modeani lefanecha ruach let's play another game. Shall we? This is the first day of the new year, which means it's magic. It's like when you make a wish over a birthday candle, and with a full heart, you make intention for the year ahead. Some of these intentions come true, some don't. That's life. But we are working on the magical power of intentionality. This tefillah, this prayer says, Ruach Chai V'Kayam, a spirit that is alive and enduring. Something is alive and enduring before and after we are born. The wind, the ghosts, the spirits, the animation of space is within us right now. Without the air, we would not be here. So we are invited in our tradition and in all traditions to ride those wings of air and to imagine with our mind what might it look like if we tried really hard to be at our best and let the universe provide that bestness. So if we are going to be sitting here next year, no promises, but let's hope. What are we going to say thank you for that we created today? Think of something that a year from now you want to say, I made that happen. Thank you, whoever, whatever helped me do it. Think big visions. Some of us are thinking politics. Okay, think midterms. What do you want to say thank you for in a year from now that you helped happen? So we do not go down but up. Some of you have just begun a new grade at school. What is that year going to look like? What are you going to say thank you for a year from now? Some of you just got married and are moving into a new home. A lot of wallpaper to choose. What are you going to say thank you for in a year? Some of you are going to have a bar mitzvah. Some of you will meet the love of your life. We'll say goodbye. We'll start a new chapter. What do we want to say thank you for a year from now that will open up your lives? Good morning, Shira. How's it going, Zafir? How was it with the kids?
Great.
Amazing. Our team is coming back from the children's programs, from all these mornings. So we're asking you folks a couple more questions. What do you think right now? What are you dreaming right now? What seeds of gratitude are you putting in your ground right now so that a year from now you will say thank you? Today's vision, this year's vision manifested. This is for you. Take it inside. This is what prayer is about. But please right now, if you are listening to me here in this room and online, close your eyes for just a second and imagine. What do you want this year to bring that will be worthy of a thank you? To Ruach Chai V'Kayam. You will know it when you feel it. And say thank you already now, ahead of time. Lefanecha Ruach Chai V'Kayam Modeh Ani Lefanecha Ruach Chai V'Kayam For those of you just joining us, good morning and welcome. Welcome back. Shana Tova. We have been here since 9 a.m. stretching and wrapping ourselves in intention. Reverend Derek shared a brand new poem. Rebecca brought a brand new tune. How was it with the kids, Naomi?
Fantastic.
Amazing. Our children are gathering in the tents outside. Some of you are here. All of us online and here, slowly trickling together to this communal gathering that we call Rosh Hashanah. We begun with gratitude for all the things already on our thank you list and all the things yet to come. Take a breath with me. Feel your feet on the ground. We begun with thanks. And as many of you know, in Lab Shul, our God-optional, everybody-friendly, artist-driven, pop-up community, we boil it down to just 4 words. The rest is commentary. Thanks. Wow. Oops. And please, awesome. I'm glad we're on the same page here. This is the day in which we began as every day with thanks. And soon we will move into more wows about what is worth appreciating. We'll move to oops. This is the day on which we say, what in this world, in my world, can be fixed for good. And then the please. What do I need? And who and how will I be helped to help make this year better for us all? So welcome back. We're here in person. We're here online. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. The comments is where you are invited to share feedback and thoughts with us. We look at it. And I also want to say that all those of you here should have received one of these when you came in. And if you haven't, go grab one in the front. There is a QR code on the back. And instead of printing a program, because we're eco-conscious, with a QR code, you take your phone. I know, I'm practically a boomer, so I too had to learn this. I know. You scan the thing with your camera. Right, am I doing this right? And then the QR code, I'm going to try this right now, just to know that I'm walking my talk here. Yeah, there it is, labshul.org. And you go to a special page that has who's who, what's what, extra texts, all about the storytelling, some hidden nuggets, and how to support us all year round. So this is your handy guide. I'll talk about it again later when more of us are in the house. But that's all for housekeeping for now. Just open your heart. Feel what it's like to be present. Take a look around. Who's sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you? Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. It's a good chance to say good morning and Shana Tova. So nice to see Audrey and Jeffrey here. It's been a moment. And the Kesslers are here from DC, and there's Ivan and Janie, our hard supporters for immigrant rights. And Sarah's in the house, hopefully feeling a little better. Lead us in.
Let's harmonize the room together here. Big breath. You don't have to know the way. The way knows the way. You don't have to don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way, the way knows, the way knows, the way knows, the way. Don't have to Shana Tova. I'm so glad you all found your way here. Let's not stop. Let's keep it going so we can stay in the way. My name is Sarah Sokolic. I am Lab Shul's co-founder and executive director. I'm here just to welcome you and to find that way and that place in your heart that you've been missing, being here in person together for the last couple of years. It's a bit of a homecoming. We're so glad to be back here at TPAC. It's so wonderful to see all the faces. I'll leave you in the great hands of our wonderful ritual team. But before that, some announcements from the divine.
Shana Tova, Happy New Year. Welcome to Lab Shul's High Holy Days of Awe 5783 back at Tribeca Performing Arts Center. We are so glad you're here. Get comfortable. If you are joining us online at your home, thank you for inviting us into your living room. Take a look around, feel at home. We are so glad to be back in this beautiful auditorium in Manhattan. Take a breath. You are here now. We gratefully acknowledge the Munsee Lenape people on whose ancestral homelands we gather on this new year, as well as the diverse and vibrant Native communities who make their home here today. This is sacred space, and sacred time. A little more housekeeping. Please take a moment now to mute all electronic devices, even if you're at home. Later on, feel free to use our LabShul hashtag to celebrate the new year online. Please take note of all exits in case of an emergency. In line with our commitment to equity, love, and justice, we ask that you please keep your mask on when indoors to ensure the safety of our entire community. Food and drinks are available for consumption outside in the courtyard where masking is optional. First time to LabShul? So glad to have you with us. Not your first LabShul experience? Welcome back. We are an everybody-friendly, artist-driven, God-optional community, and we are excited to begin this new year together with familiar faces and new friends. If you are Jewish, Jewish, Jew lover, a believer, a questioner, curious, if you have ever felt marginalized or alone in any spiritual space, we've got you. And if you aren't really sure how you ended up here today, welcome. You're in the right place. We are about to begin a new year together. Take a breath. Here we go. Shana Tova.
Good morning. Shana Tova again to those of you who've joined us online and in person. And those of you who were with us last night and maybe have joined us digitally these last 30 days of the month of Elul already know that we are focusing on this theme of Shiviti. Shiviti is being in the presence of the infinite, the intimate, right now. On the screen, you can see one of the many Shivitis we've inherited from many generations that have used this meditative reminder as a visual aid, as an art form that reminds us to find symmetry and balance outside and within. Last night, we started looking at the 4 words that formulate most Shivitis. Shiviti Adonai lenigdi Tamid. I visualize the divine in my presence always. And we started focusing last night on Shiviti, how to wean, how to reset, how to find presence. Today we're going to focus on the second word. And on the eve of Yom Kippur on the 3rd, and on Yom Kippur on the 4th, by the end of this high holy season, we hope that this phrase, this technique, becomes a tool in our toolkit for better being all year long. So the second word is Havaya. It is our translation of the 4-letter name of God, Yud He Vav He, being, existence, creation, non-hierarchy, non-patriarchy. It isn't a he. It isn't some transcendent force. Havaya means existence. Are you alive right here, right now? Can I see a nod? Yes. Signs of life? Good. Havaya is within us, in the house. On this new day of the new year, Havaya is our invitation to really lean into the privilege of life in the presence of the infinite. Shiviti. focusing on what is, here, now. Our ancestors have left us with many liturgies and poetries for these high holy days. And for those of you not new to Lab Shul and those of you joining us for the first time, know that we are God optional, which means whatever is your metaphor for spirit or for presence, that's all right. And one of the metaphors we inherited is the one with which we begin this day. The term is Hamelech, the king. And with our due respect to our family in the United Kingdom, that's not that king we're talking about. Although it is the image of a regal ruler on a throne with kindness and with wisdom that our ancestors imagined God to be. And so on this day of the new year, we invite you to imagine your own metaphor of regal being in your own bodies. Are you sitting comfortably? Why don't you sit a little taller? Your Majesty is on your throne. This is the day of Malchuyot, the day of majesty, of being born again into our lives this year. And if you are joining us right now, I invite you to find your seat quietly. If you're online, sit comfortably. Let's lean into Shiviti, Havaya, and divine, majestic being.
Hamelech Yoshev al Kiseram v'nisa. Shochen ad marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai la'yesharim navat tehillah. Befi yesharim titromam ובשפתי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתקדש, ובקרב קדושים תתעלה.
So I'd like us to imagine that you are your king, your queen, your sovereign, sitting right now on a throne. There is an entire queendom at your disposal. How will you govern, Your Majesty, this coming year? What are the values that will guide you? What do you rely on, and who do you rely on for wisdom? What inside your body gives you what you need right now to be aligned from crown, from Keter, our highest sphere, to the Yesod, what's grounding you and rooting you to the ground. We invite ourselves for this moment of meditation quietly to sit upright, to feel your feet connected to the ground, to feel your crown open, to close your eyes, to sit here quietly beginning this new year. Just breathing. Shiviti. In eternal presence. Come back to your breath, your Majesty, to this instant. We're ready to sing a little faster, but we're just warming up. So to help us warm up this morning, raise your hand if you already had yoga this morning. Good job, y'all. The rest of us didn't. So our favorite yogini, Aura Ramat, who's been leading a lot of chair yoga and rise yoga on our Zooms and in person, is here this morning to help us stretch. Aura, will you join us? Nai, 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 nai. microphone is right there. So, Ora, come here to the front and help us stretch. Welcome back. My personal yoga teacher. And one to many of us. So before Ora gets us to move a little bit, because we are body, mind, and soul, I want to invite you again to take a look around. There are so many babies who are here who weren't born last year or a few years ago when we were in person. And there's some of you who had a bar mitzvah who are now taller than most of us. And there's new friends and old ones. The DNA of this community is unique for this moment, online and in person. So let us rise to this moment with all the dignity and joy of this moment in time. Lead us, teacher.
Shana Tova, everybody.
Shana Tova.
So grateful to see everybody three-dimensionally and not on Zoom. So I welcome you all to close your eyes.
That's my phone.
Just slowly taking in an inhale. Sensing this energy rising into your body. And slowly exhale. Let's begin to sense our feet gently pressing into the earth. And from that place, begin to sense as you inhale a lengthening, a beautiful lengthening internally of your bodies. I invite you all to place your hands in front of your hearts. And as we inhale, can we lift our arms up? Reach up. As we exhale, gently bring our palms back in front of our hearts. And keeping your eyes closed, let's relax our jaws for a moment and just wiggle our mouths, our jaws, and just let out any stresses and let go of what we want to let go of this year. That's a great idea. Let's do a big sigh. Inhale. And say, ah. Inhale, bring those arms up again. And let's gently bend those circles with healing energy towards us. Leave those arms up for a moment. Come back to bringing your palms back in your heart, towards front of your heart. And let's continue to breathe as I share with you. Breath in Hebrew is linshom. Neshama in Hebrew, the same root word, is soul. So as you continue to inhale, you're connecting to your souls. This is the first entry to a beautiful experience today, going deeper into our souls. Let's again bring our arms up. And gently lean over one side, feeling those ribs on your left, feeling that heart. Coming back to center for the moment, reaching up again, and leaning over to the other side. Letting out that prana, letting out that healing breath. Bringing your hands in front of your hearts. Bringing your arms down to your sides. Extending your arms a little bit further back to your heart.
Oh, use the mic.
Taking in big breath. And exhaling, let's embrace ourselves, perhaps bending your knees a little. And let's inhale, extending, bringing our arms back, opening up that heart. And let's open our mouths and say, ah. Shana Tova. That's my sign and cue to allow our leaders to continue.
Thank you. Let me walk you out. Thank you, Aura. So friends, hope you're feeling more limber. Shana Tova to our bodies. We're going to call you up in just a moment to stand, so don't lose the standing energy. Where did the kids just go? Hi, guys. So fun to see all of our kids together. Can someone please give Marlo her Torah that she lent to me? Hi, Livney. Welcome. With that same energy that Aura just rose in our body, I invite you to feel your knees again. Your Majesties, let's rise from our thrones. Rise to this new day. Why am I using this, for God's sake? I know. Back to our thrones, regal, slow. A breath in the presence of the infinite on this new day. We honor and we witness this ongoing process of creation. Day becomes night and night becomes day. Light and darkness dance together inside us and everywhere there is. We honor all that is becoming, all as peace, and all that's not as one. And on this new day of the new year, we bless light. The source of light, the source of life within us now, beyond all genders, all binaries, light and dark become one source of being. Here now. We are invited from this place of seeing light, like the sun that's up in our skies this morning, the light that's in each other's eyes when we light up and dance together and sing. We are invited to move from the sight to an inner sense of listening. And in our invitation this year into Shiviti, Havaya Lenegdi Tamid, the second word in this four-word mantra that reminds us to wake up is Havaya, which is existence. It is a Kabbalistic notion of taking the old name of God, Yud Hey Vav Hey, and flipping it so that it is not him but us in the divine image. And so we want this morning to invite you into an experiment. We are a lab. And yes, we know that for many of us, the Shema, those 6 words in Hebrew, is the one prayer that many of us know by heart. Right? Raise your hand. You've used the Shema when the plane dips or early in the morning, when our loved ones close their eyes for the last time. We daily say the Shema. And so we usually say, and can I have the next slide, please? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. We say that word Adonai, the name of God, which means my masters. It's one of the oldest names we have inherited. But we want to invite you today, even though you're used to saying that, to experiment with another way of saying the Shema. And that is, practice with me before we say this together, Shema Yisrael Havaya Eloheinu Havaya Echad. It is the same, a little different. Does it feel weird? A little? It's a new day of a new year. A little weird is good for you. We try new things as we evolve from patriarchy, from our old ways to a new way. Think about it. What does it mean to take an ancient relic, an heirloom we've inherited that is thousands of years old, and with respect, not change, by add to it? We'll try it out. Our friend Jacqueline created this beautiful video for us where Adonai becomes Havaya and the reminder, Israel means those who struggle, wrestle, search for meaning. All the old and all the new. When we tune in into Shiviti, all is one. Choose your Shema this morning. Find the words that speak to your souls, singing. Whatever words we use, it is all one.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be.
Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be.
Let the love be you.
Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be. Let the love be. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be. Kadesh Yameinu Kekedesh. Kadesh Yameinu Kekedesh. Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. These three words that we translate loosely as renew this day as it was yesterday. Take what we inherited the past and make it new. We are invited on this new day of this new year to take the past, including our most sacred, like the Shema, the most hallowed values we have lived with, and say, what might new look like? And it isn't easy to renew some old traditions we have loved, an old version of ourselves. Like snakes, we are invited to softly shed one's skin and to become today another. Each one of us as individuals and society, this whole human species, is asking us to be renewed. Renewal energy and renewable energy is what will save this planet. And we are already moving, whether we wanted to or not, from one form of gas to another, and maybe solar electricity, and many other ways to use renewable energy so that there is a future and not just a past. Each one of us has within ourselves resources of renewable energy. And so what we want to figure out this morning as we begin this year is, what is your inner reservoir of energy that needs to be renewed today? What do you have already that could use some renewal on this new day of the new year? What inside you wants to be renewed today? Take a second to reflect on this as we are praying to the inner source and all that is. And I want to invite you, if you are joining us online, to reflect on that alone or maybe with somebody else, if you are with someone, or to put it in the chat, in the comments. And for those of us here in sacred space, please turn towards each other and for just a minute, honestly reflect. And if you don't know who's sitting in front of you or to your right or to your left, it is a good moment to just say hello. What inside you wants to be renewed today? Don't overthink it. It will arise. Please make sure someone sitting next to you is in the conversation, so none of us are sitting here alone. So friends, I'm going to ask us to please plan to start wrapping it up. I know there's a lot to say about renewable sources of energy. Don't forget what you just heard, what you just shared. Let's be each other's witnesses that on this day we are committing to renewable energy in all the forms it takes. And thank you to those of you who already put things in the comments. Mystery and connection, happiness, courage.
Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows will fall away. Turn your face to the sun, and let the sun in. Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows will fall away. Turn your face to the sun, and let the sun in. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be you. Let the love be. Let the love be you. Let the Lord be.
I get a little panicky when I see a blank piece of paper and I'm told to make arts and crafts. If you told me write a song about any topic, I'm good. But if you give me materials and give me a blank piece of paper, I get a little nervous. And we had a little workshop with our team where we actually delved into all those artistic renderings that we've been looking at of Shiviti. And so I just, in order to calm myself and bring myself to Shiviti, I looked very closely at some of the artistic renderings. And the closer I looked, what I found was that there was the word, one of the names of G-O-D that we use, El, which is an Aleph and a Lamed. Except on this artistic rendering, they were co-joined. As you see, I tried to emulate it. I'm a good task doer on arts and crafts, and so I emulated it. It made me think of this upward movement of that letter. Even if you don't know Hebrew, you can see the flow of that letter, that turquoise blue on the top. And it reminded me of elevating, elevating, that the smoke elevates, which brought me back to maybe an ancient DNA memory, maybe just what I've learned over the years, a cloud of smoke, which brought me back to a window of an ancient fire that was kept burning continuously. Tamid, that fourth word of Shiviti, always. It was burned in the tabernacle. It's a reminder of every day, the everyday sacrifice, the Tamid, that was part of the ancients' practice mode of worship. And it's replaced by what we are about to do. Enter into the Amidah, that sacred moment of time that we have for ourselves. So I wondered to myself, what did it take to keep that fire lit? What does it take to keep a fire lit? Sometimes you need to stoke it. If anybody has done a campfire before, you need to just stoke those embers. Sometimes you need to nurture it or to gently blow so that it catches, that it maintains a consistent presence. And sometimes we need that too, to bring ourselves back into presence. Sometimes we need to just stoke ourselves to wake up. And sometimes we just need a gentle wind. And sometimes a nurturing come back to center. I'm in a very special moment because this is life right now. What kind of Tamid do you need right now as we rise?
I'm opening up the chord. This is the musical chord of Tamid, of everything. Wherever you come in on this note, follow us up the billowing smoke. Find your place wherever you come in, and this entire magical chord is the right place to come in. Shiviti.
Shiviti. סוד חכמים ונבונים ומלמד דת מבינים הבטחה פי בתפילה ובתחנונים לחלות ולחנן פני רוח מלכי המלכים ואדוני האדונים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי
אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני. מגן אברהם ועזת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד אתה. מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופך עולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, רוח מנית ומחיה ומצליח ישועה. מי כמוך אב רחמים, זוכר יצואיו לחיים רחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה הוויה. מחיי המתים. אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, תבוא לפניך תפילותינו, ואל תתעלם מתחינתנו, שאין אנחנו עוזי פנים וקשי לומר לפניך הוויה. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, צדיקים אנחנו ולא חטאנו, אבל אנחנו ואבותינו ואמותינו Ashamnu.
We acted from aggression. We betrayed each other's humanity. We gave too little. We denied difficult truths.
We took too much space. We viciously gossiped. We zoned out. We chose comfort too often.
Tafalnu sheker.
We took for granted.
Ay, ay, ay,
We yielded to precedent. We closed our minds. We lied. We made biased decisions. We neglected.
We stayed silent. We engaged in environmental destruction. We privileged the patriarchy. We stood by when others were objectified. We kept too much for ourselves.
We remained apathetic. We showed children we cared less. For them than for guns. We thought of ourselves too much. We thought of ourselves not enough. We took too long to rise up and protest. It was her voice.
I am Hagar. I am finding my voice. I am still
She is the tree
sister
of life and death.
repair.
She is
Instead
the
of
tree
turning
of life
away
and
from
death.
the relationship patriarchy doesn't want us to have.
She is the tree of life and death.
It was her voice.
She is the tree of life and death. Ine.
Things he's never seen before. And people show up, these two there is some kind of a curtain, velvet, he thinks, and they are reaching out to open this big velvet curtain. Everything is being set up, and inside they reach in, and he's not quite sure. Is it a closet? Are there people inside? He sees a creature being brought outside with a dress and jewelry. He thinks perhaps it is a prisoner, a queen, who's been hidden in the synagogue this whole time. The kid is amazed. What's going on? Who is she? As she's being brought out very lovingly with trinkets on her, a crown, he realizes that she is important because everybody rises. Everybody rises when she comes out. And they are reaching out their hands, and some people even bow. Who is she? The kid is really curious as they start to sing to her.
Vayehi bin Saharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Ve'afutzu oivecha, Ve'yanusu misanecha, mipanecha.
Somebody is lifting up this object, and he says it's not a prisoner, it's not a queen, it is a scroll that soon becomes undressed, and everybody sits down, and their boys look, and this boy looks and realizes that he is quite confused by what just happened. Now, this young boy, whose name is Theo, you may have heard of him. His name is Theodor Reich. He will grow up to be one of Sigmund Freud's star pupils. He is a psychoanalyst. He lives in New York City, and he writes a book that I love called The Pagan Rites of Judaism, exploring psychoanalysis and the history of human myth. And in it, he writes the following about this childhood experience. This childhood memory, writes Reich, whose significance becomes recognizable only years later, should merely form an introduction to the treatment of the subject of the mysterious disappearance of a mother goddess in the religion of prehistoric Israel. What the boy saw that morning was perhaps exactly what he saw.
And welcome to storytelling, where the Torah meets our stories from our lives. Where history itself, as convoluted as it is when it's written down, gets an opportunity to dance with fantasy.
We invite you in to hear well-known stories, but with a little bit of a twist. This is sacred storytelling, this ritual, the sharing of Torah. 2,500 years ago-ish, on the first day of the brand new year, this ritual took place for the very first time.
When the telling of Torah premiered in Jerusalem on that day, it was an engaging performance, accompanied by live interpretive translation from Hebrew into Aramaic, the common language of the time. The intricate art form of translation was conducted by the maven, the local interpreter/storyteller who turned the ancient tale into contemporary conversation.
The mavens, as many of you know, eventually were phased out of synagogue life, political and financial reasons. But we're back. There are quite a few mavens in the house today. Raise your hand if you came of age as a bar mitzvah in our community, and other mavens. And I'm glad to say there are two mavens on the stage this morning, brand new, trained this summer. We are bringing back the ancient form of storytelling as storytelling. And so this morning's mavens are joining me to retell one of our oldest stories you may have heard of, the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. This cornerstone of patriarchy of our ancient tradition is about a father who loves his God so much he is willing to sacrifice his dearest, youngest son. It is a complicated tale, and we will come to it today with many questions.
Questions such as, what can we learn from this story that will help us to live better lives?
Or where in this story is the voice of the mother?
What is hiding in this story, and who is ready to be heard?
We start a new year with a new telling of this ancient, complicated story. Let me say, a trauma that we've inherited. And today we're going to look at with hopefully some new eyes and a twist in the plot. We've spent months digging up the many layers and the commentaries about this story, and we share the stories from our own lives. And we will call on you here in person and online to be part of the storytelling and to bring your own voices into how we retell this binding, this unbinding of ourselves. We have this morning two aliyot, two acts of the Torah, each one an opportunity for blessing, and we will invite you to be called up to this Torah if it speaks out to you. Because of still coming out of COVID and all of the constrictions, we're going to ask the most of you to rise in your seat, here or at home, if you feel called up to an aliyah, and if you will represent the community and come up on stage. Thank you for understanding.
And so we say welcome to this New Year's first, what we call installment of the longest running rerun, the world's best seller, the Torah, live from Sinai and live from Tribeca, we bring you Hear Her.
Storytelling time.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. So we already took out the Torah, you may have noticed, in a new way than is usual, because it is a new day and a new year, and we're trying out new things. And we are now delighted to invite you for the first of two aliyot. Some of you this past year have accomplished great things. Proud of your accomplishments? Perhaps you came of age, 13 or older. Perhaps you finished a great project. Perhaps you feel like what you have accomplished is fantastic. You want to bless it, and it's time to let it go. Today we say goodbye to the Shemitah year, the year of release, the year of letting go. We talked about it last night, and today it's history. Want to honor history? If you feel like you want to honor an accomplishment this past year, this Aliyah is for you. We want to invite those of you at home to maybe put in the comments what it is that you are proud of. What accomplishment can you own and file away? Been there, done that. If you're in the house this morning, we invite some of you who are from our Generate Cohort 2 folks, who are our elders, who spent a year learning about eldering and completed this journey this past spring. Another one is starting this winter if you want to join. Generate folks, we invite you to come up to the Bima if you'd like. Rima, I see you, and I think there were a few others who wanted to. And if you graduated your Bar Mitzvah with us, raising the bar, cohort 11, and you already celebrated or you're just about to, we are inviting you on the Bima as well. So if you had a Bar Mitzvah as a 13-ish year old or a bit older, come on up. And if you feel like you're proud of your accomplishment this year, rise up. This Aliyah is for you. And we invite you to really own what it is that you are proud of. Come on up. Yeah, Ezra, you had a Bar Mitzvah for sure. Give us some shimmer music, please. Hi, Rima. What we need are these. Thank you. Hello, Rima. Thank you for representing Generate.
I'm sorry, I'm the only one.
Well, I'm sure there are others with you on screen. And Janie's coming to represent. And Bar Mitzvah kids. Hi, yo. Ariana, you just had yours. And Theo and Austin and Janie, come on up, guys. Hey! So many of you. Awesome. Well, you guys don't know the blessings because you just had a Bar Mitzvah. But here's your cheat sheet. You can all show off your Hebrew now. There's room for everybody. Come on, rocks. You guys want an extra big talit? We may as well use it, right? I mean, some of you have it, some of you don't. So here we go. This is a super big talit. And if you can start on this side, and Shira will help us. Never hurts to have two. Thank you for celebrating your accomplishment. And folks joining us online, and all those of you rising, let's go into Act 1. On your behalf, I'll touch the spot and kiss it, and air kiss it all to you. We are here, right now. Ready? Let's bless. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם, אשר בחר בנו עם כל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen.
His is the voice of the Father, holding on to a vision. His are the words of a failed father. Every day is another test. Some days, some trials are harder. This one the most. Will he fail the test, or will he pass it? Top of the hill, rock bottom.
Amen. ויקח אברהם את עצי העולם, וישם על יצחק בנו, ויקח בידו את האש ואת המאכלת,
sacred tree of life. I am the mother.
For years, he had been chasing visions, the ones that come when all else is silenced. He turns off the clatter and he exhales. He goes high, higher, again and again, and he gets addicted to the visions.
Hear her watching. She can only be heard. Hear our voice.
I watched the old man, mighty Father Abraham, lift up a bundle of twigs, limbs cut from the branches of the tree of life, my branches, my limbs, then bound up together, now placed on both shoulders of the boy, my boy, our boy. Our boy is bound.
And he needed the out-of-body experience that brings the big visions, the highest ones, the ones that make sense when so little does in his day-to-day world. Same old thing, work, stress, bills, body, family, day in and day out. And he needed those visions, would do anything for that vision. He got bound up, climbing high.
My family climbs up the hill. I watch the father holding fire and knife. Our son is already bound to the wood. They climb the hill together in silence, and they do not know that I am with them. We are with them.
I am heard in their silence,
the rustle of the tree. Climb to the
top of the hill together.
Vayomer Yitzchak, and Yitzchak said, Al Avraham Aviv, Vayomer Aviv, Vayomer Hineni. I am here, Beni, my son. Vayomer Hine Ha'esh. The wood of the tree, but where is the altar offering?
The bound boy speaks. His name, Yitzhak, means he who will laugh. Our boy was named for so much joy. But what matters now? Yitzhak speaks. My father.
Avi.
The father answers.
Vayomer Avi.
I am here, son.
And chasing after the visions, the high, it nearly cost him everything. Even his own son no longer mattered. Just to see that vision, to hear that voice.
We named our boys together.
Together.
Our boys.
Our boys.
Yishmael, he who hears.
and Yitzhak, he who laughs. We raised our boys together,
Hagar and I.
Sarah and I. Two mothers bound by this one father, bound by our bonds to our sons.
We loved them
together, the son of Hagar and the son of Sarah.
Their father taught them about his faith, how to build hilltop altars to his visions, and how to sacrifice. These lessons are how Yitzhak knows now that there is something missing. He sees the fire and the knife, can feel the wood of the tree, but something is missing.
Something is missing.
Vayomer Avraham Elohim yireh lo haseh le'olam beni. Our Elohim will see to the offering, my son. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav.
And then one day he looked in the mirror, didn't even recognize himself. Who had he become?
He always hated it when someone brought him back down to earth. When I'd remind him, Ibrahim, Habibi, come to dinner already, come to bed. You're more than the person who talks to the one and has visions. We can all do that. No one ever had the heart to tell him. He told the boy, everything will be all right, my son. We'll find an offering. We kept on climbing. Together.
Vayavo'u el hamakom asher amar lo ha'Elohim. Vayiven sham Avraham et hamizbeach. Vaya'aroch et ha'etzim. Vaya'akod et Yitzchak beno. Vayasem oto al hamizbeach mima'al la'etzim.
The hill is covered with wild bushes of sage. The scent greets them when they finally climb to the top. This is where the people danced in my sacred groves, all gone now. An old stone altar rises on the summit of the hill of sage. The cornerstone is the oldest rock of our existence.
And here the men have bound our boys before.
Yishmael later said that when they finally arrived and saw the ancient altar, their father was in a sort of trance. And Yitzhak did not cry or laugh. He did not say a word, perhaps too petrified. His father tied him up, bound him limb to limb, his ankles to mine, our wrists tight together, boy and branches, flesh of our flesh.
I am the mother.
I am the mother.
I am the tree.
I am the tree of life
and death. Vayishlach Avraham et yado vayikach et hamachelet lishchot et beno.
One more high. Just one. Right now. And this pain will grant the grandest vision. Nobody understands. Nobody matters, he says. Just the vision is what matters to him. Just the voice. And he closes his eyes and he lifts his hand.
The father holds the knife. His hand is raised, a heartbeat. This is the boy that we were praying for. This is the boy we named Laughter. His father holds the knife.
Vayikra Elam Malach Adonai min hashamayim Vayomer Listen, Ibrahim, listen, it's me. Listen, Hagar, listen. Listen, Abraham, listen. It's me, Sarah. Listen, it's me, Sarah. Listen. In the arms of the mother, the great waters of the mother. In the arms of the mother, I lay down. Listen, 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 listen.
He lets it ring. Not now, not when he is so high and on this hill inside his vision. Not now. Rock bottom. Top of the hill.
Some say a long, long time ago, this story has been told around the fires. A story about a man who wanted to please his God so much, he went as far as offering his precious son, his most precious possession. But the mother intervened, the story went. The great mother of all life would not let him offer up their child. But you don't know this version, do you? Because so many, many generations later, when they finally wrote stuff down, she wasn't there. They took her out. She's only hidden in illusions. But we know, or we think we know, that it was her.
I am the tree, we are the mother, the one that never left, that is both life and life.
He knows the voice, hears her, listens.
Ibrahim.
Avraham. Listen, 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 listen. In the arms of the mother, the great waters arms of the mother.
In the arms of the mother, I lay down.
There are moments in your life when you say, Hineni, here I am, I'm showing up. You do not always know for what. So you may not have known what you have come up for this morning. It is a pretty dramatic story, but it is part of our legacy. And you, this past year, through your own mitzvahs, became storytellers also. So this old story meets your story. Those of you standing here for all of the accomplishments of this past year, hopefully not as dramatic as the ones we're telling about. And those of you joining us online, on this day we honor saying Hineni, showing up. What happens to Abraham, Isaac, and the family, we'll see about that in a moment. Will he pick up the phone? But for now, friends, we want to honor this moment, your accomplishment this new year, with a blessing that we all need to listen to on this and every day. I'm kissing this place where our story pauses and invites you to celebrate this blessing, which is about the tree of life. Eloheinu ruach haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu, baruch ata Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. Congratulations for coming up and accomplishing this many great things this year. Shana Tova, Shana Tova. Shana Tova to generate. So friends, do you hear voices? Anybody? Raise your hand if you hear voices. Really? Oh, come on. I'm not talking Waze or Siri. I'm talking voices in your belly that sometimes guide your way. For those of you, okay, thank you. Don't be shy. It means we are completely mentally healthy, attuned to our inner constellations that have a lot to say. So those of you who raised your hand because you hear voices, great. We can play this game together. And the rest of you who are like a little shy to admit, you can play along too. Okay, this is how it goes. I'd like to invite you to imagine, friends, that you are Abraham. If you're sitting here, it is a decent chance that he is in your DNA. So you are Abraham, Avraham, Ibrahim, and you hear voices, right? The voice is what got you from one land to another, to believe in many visions, to show up to who you are, a founder of a great new path of faith. And by that faith, you have been led to the top of the mountain, willing to offer up your cherished son as a way to say, I say yes to this faith, to this voice, to what got me here, which is grander than life. You are committed. You have conviction. And at this moment, while you are fully embraced in this path, another voice interrupts you. Avraham, Ibrahim, Abe, stop. Now let me ask you, raise your hand. Do you stop at this moment? You're on the path. This is your life's path. It's hard, it's Sometimes you got to make sacrifices. So raise your hand if you heard the call to stop in the middle of this moment. Your life's mission, do you stop? Raise your hand. David, Stefan, hold you, baby. You stop. Can I see again? Okay. Can I see hands from those of you who say, no, I'm not stopping? Thank you, voice. I'm seeing some reluctant hands. Not a popular choice, perhaps. Harry, Ezra, Hannah, really? You're not stopping. You're like, I'm sorry. Sorry to kill this kid, but like God said so. Who am I to stand in the way of the tradition? Really? So whether you just raise your hand in earnestness to stop or not, this story, this mythic cornerstone of our tradition, perhaps traumatic leftover from ages where people did as they still do, offer up the future because of the past. We want to know, what would be the words that would get you to stop in your tracks? Yo, Abraham, who's talking to you? Who gets you to stop? Yo, Abraham, whatever voices you have here, this new midrash is what reality will be right now. So Abraham, you stopped. You heard a voice. Who's calling you? Yitzchak, you're hearing your son calling to you and saying, Papa, stop. You're scaring me. Dad. So thank you, Avraham, and thank you, Yitzchak. Who else is talking? Avraham, who are you hearing? There's no limit to who might be talking to you right now across space and time. His mother? Abraham's mother. We know her name. Did you know that? Abraham's mother's name is Amtalai. She is a mysterious figure, but we know about her from the oral tradition. Abraham's mother comes to him on the top of the hill and says, Abraham, what does she say? Why are you killing your kid, my grandson? Abraham, wake up. His son, his grandma, what? I did not kill you. I let you go. I didn't want you to go away from Mesopotamia, but you did. You left your mother. And now you're doing this to your son? Thank you, Kai. Who else is talking to Abraham right now? So what does that sound like? What does his conscience say to him? Thank you. This is Abraham in, inner therapy. Wait, I'm holding up the knife. What am I doing? Am I nuts? Okay, his son, his mother, his conscience, a couple more. His heart. And what's his heart saying to him? Family come first, Abraham. With all due respect to this voice in your head that you call God, this is your son. Drop the knife. Or Sarah, his wife, right? She isn't in the story, folks. If you know this story from previous Torah tellings, or maybe every once in a while, you read the Torah, then you might know that Sarah isn't in the story, although she will die in their next chapter. So maybe it is the voice of Sarah or Hagar. So folks, there are so many options for who's talking in the story. In the version we inherited in the Torah, it is Malach Adonai, an angel of God, interrupts this act of murder in the name of God. Malach Adonai could be anything, anyone. It's a messenger. It's any one of us. His child, his mother, his heart, his conscience, his wife. So Abraham is us because we are his descendants. And we are patriarchy. We are the children of the patriarch. So we are Abraham right now, and in some way, we too are killing our children. And we are slaughtering the future for the sake of same old stuff. What would it take, friends, to be right now listening, like Abraham, to something that will interrupt us in our tracks? What will stop humanity? What will stop the human species? What will stop any of us from doing the same old thing? What gets you to be interrupted? Can you think of one word that you, that us, the human race, could hear right now that would help us not sacrifice the future for the sake of visions that are harmful to our lives? What is one word that could be said? Say them out loud. Education, compassion. Write them in the comments if you can. Love. Hope. Truth. Apocalypse. Shame. Change. Empathy. Art. Seriously? So you are Abraham. We are Abraham. These are the words we're hearing when the voice says, Abraham, Avraham, father of all things. And do you remember what he says? He says, Hineni. I am here. What does it mean on this day for us to show up? Perhaps to be willing to be interrupted in the ways that got us here, which is not what's going to get us moving on. So thank you for bringing Avraham and his son and mother and family into this circle on this day. You know what happens next? The phone rings. They're trying to wake someone up. And do we listen? What would it take to listen?
Listen, 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 listen,
Listen, listen, listen. For the second and last Aliyah today, we want to invite those of us who are celebrating something new, a new way to tell a new part of your lives. Maybe there are new babies in the house. Maybe, baby, you are invited here if you have celebrated a birth this new year. Are you starting your Bar Mitzvah journey? Maybe this coming year, this Aliyah is for you. Are you part of a new project? Are you excited to begin a new chapter in your life? Like, did you just get married, maybe? Or you just got engaged? Are you celebrating something new and exciting? Yes? Well, so is our story. So we're excited to invite you up to the bima. Just a few of you who are celebrating new beginnings, and those of you online, please let us know in the comments what is celebrated new in your life. And all those of us who are celebrating you, please rise if you're excited to see what happens in this next act and to celebrate new chances, new opportunities, a new version of an old story, new life. So Kai, you're starting your Bar Mitzvah journey. Any other new Bar Mitzvah kids? Come on up. I think we have Livnei coming up with Liz and Stefan to join Shira for an Aliyah. And Amy's here. Welcome. Oh, we have another baby. Hey, y'all. Rebecca, you get an Aliyah for moving to New Hampshire, but you're here anyway. Hi, guys. Welcome. All right, Bar Mitzvahs, come on up. But you already had yours. But you're coming up just for fun. Okay, fine. All right, you all ready? Cheat sheets. You don't know yet, but your papa does. Hi, friends. Mazal tov. Hi, cutie. All these babies I've only seen on Zoom. If you're already here, Shakti, you're starting your B Mitzvah too. B Mitzvah grads, you know this, so show off. Liz and Shira and Stefan and Livne. Okay, Livne doesn't know the blessing yet, but you will teach her. Okay, and those of you who've stood up for new beginnings, we'll see you, John. Okay, let's bless this next chapter. We are here now. Hineni. Shall we? Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Amen.
The phone keeps ringing.
Amen. Vayomer al tishlach yadcha el hana'ar ve'al ta'as lo me'uma ki ata yadati ki yireh Elohim ata ve'lo chasachta et bincha et yechidcha mimeni.
And I said, we said,
she said,
she said,
we said together, give me back my son. Do not touch him. He drops the knife.
Good.
Now you know, I know that you love me, that you love life.
His eyes pop open. He drops his hand, drops the lighter, and picks up the phone. Granddad? Yeah, it's me, baby girl. Here I am. Her voice when he was at his lowest. Granddad? Here I am, baby girl. I'm here. Granddad, you gonna wish me a happy birthday? Of course, baby girl, happy birthday. Granddad, did you remember? Baby, your birthday is the only one I do remember. You're the birthday of my world. He wakes up.
Vayisa Avraham et enav vayireh vehine ayil achar nachaz basvach bekarnav vayelech Avraham vayikach et ha'ayil vayalehu le'ola tachat beno.
I am the tree.
And I am the thicket.
And I am the ram and the horns and the knife.
You see the ram? You see the ram, Abraham? When Abraham lifts up his eyes and sees the ram, he sees the mother. You see, in the ancient world, when the great mother of our life was depicted, it was sometimes in the form of a tree, and sometimes a mountain, and sometimes a gazelle, a ram. With her great horns of plenty, she was often depicted as rising out of a tree, the tree of life. And so when Abraham looks up in the ancient story, he doesn't just see an animal. He sees the mother. And he takes the ram and offers up the ram. The mother saves herself to save the boy, and she does not die because she is transformed. Her shape will shift into a sound. The sound that their ram's horn will make is all that is left of the mother. It is the voice.
It was her voice. That time when he was at his lowest. Her voice had saved his life. The voice is the voice of my daughter. The life of my father. It was my daughter's voice that opened up my father's eyes that day. She called him on her birthday, and she gave him life.
ויקרא אברהם שם המקום ההוא אדוני יראה אשר יאמר היום בהר אדוני יראה.
The man looks up. He calls this the hill, the place of vision. But we know that it is the place of hearing. Listen.
Listen.
This is the place. He names the place, the hill where things see. But I am the tree, I am the ram, I am the mother.
Listen.
And it was on this day, all those years ago, his granddaughter gave him life. On this day, we recall the story of my father's waking up. He heard her calling. Here I am, he says. Here I am.
For those of us who heard the call to life, the baby's voice, Hineni, welcome to this new chapter and this new moment, this new year, and this new day. We want to end with a blessing so we can listen to your voices, honoring the stories we inherited and how we tell them fresh. So let us honor with a blessing all of you who came up, the new babies, who will maybe all get to be in the Bar Mitzvah class together, all the play dates coming up, and all the new beginnings. Let's bless together this new moment. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Ruach Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata Betochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen, amen, amen. Mazal Tov, all of you, for all the new beginnings. We invite you to slowly and calmly descend the mountain. May more blessings follow you on this and every day. Mazal Tov. Bye, babies. We're going to wrap up this new telling of the binding of Yitzchak with a Misha Berach, with a blessing of healing for whatever this story brings to you today. If you're curious about some of where we got these new interpretations, use this QR code to go into the special guide for these high holy days, where you will find much about what we are doing here, including several sources, some intriguing ones, and invitations to think more. But at this moment, we'd like to offer a blessing for all those of us who are reckoning with a wreckage of the patriarchal trauma we are carrying from Abraham and since, for all the ways today that we are honoring accomplishments, and for all new things. This is a healing blessing, a Misha Berach, a chance for us to think of who in our lives right now could use a blessing of healing for our bodies, for our minds, for our stories, for our hopes, for anything we need. Feel free to think of the names of people you are sending this Misha Berach to, and those of us online, feel free to put those names, including yours, in the comments, so all of us are here together. Came up to the Torah today for an accomplishment. May this accomplishment shine within you on this and every day. And who knows what's next? Continue rising. If you came up today to celebrate something new, may this newness keep on being new. However we are celebrating, may every day like this day bring a new perspective and the freshness of life. If you are thinking of right now and feeling someone, including us, who is in need of healing, heart and mind and body, ancient stories that no longer serve us now, refuah shlema, a healing to the body and a healing to the soul, may we be brave enough to tell new stories that will bring the healing that we all so long for. On this new day of the new year, I invite us to send a ray of light to everyone who's suffering. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, let us belt out an amen. So some say there once was a great goddess in Israel. Theodore Reich felt her presence in a synagogue when he was 4 and went on to write books about it. And we today, in our God optional reality, decided to bring her back smack into the middle of the Akedah. Truth or false? Who knows? This is Midrash. We are imagining a great reality where stories heal, and we are healing too. I want to thank the mavens who co-created this journey with me today, to Rebecca for all your gifts and depth and wisdom. We are listening. To Reverend Derek, who brought in the stories of the men in your community and the women in our traditions and the need to grow up and to listen and to be the people we are meant to be. To Ari, who just stepped down, who brought their voice and wisdom and perception. To Marika, who created those haunting video scapes. To all those of you for bringing Abraham. And now, release, unbound. Release the story. May we be worthy to be listening to where she lives. To listen. Listen, listen, listen. In a moment, we will blow the shofar. And we invite us to close our eyes when the shofar is blowing, because it is not about what you see. It's about the art of listening.
Holy wind, whistle through me. 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 Been a long time since you had a pipe for this music.
Rabbi David, welcome back. Naomi, thank you for being here. Friends, I invite you to feel your way into this ritual moment in which we get to listen and to hear. In some traditions, one rises. If you have a talit, we sometimes cover our head. And I do invite you to close your eyes. So we are hearing inside. Let us with a bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ruach haolam, asher tishanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. שברים תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. שברים תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. שברים. תקיעה. תקיעה. שברים. תקיעה. תקיעה. שברים. תקיעה. תקיעה. תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. תרועה. תקיעה. תקיעה. תרועה. תקיעה גדולה. Rabbi David, Yishar Koach, Naomi, Yishar Kochech. I hope you heard the voice of the great beyond through these cries on our new beginnings with all the joy in the world. May we be fortunate to be creating these rituals together often. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Reverend Derek, why don't you help me take the beautiful Torah, Theodore Reich's great goddess, back into her ark. V'zot HaTorah asher sa Moshe. This is the Torah that we've inherited. The English translation is ours. QR code for all the sources. Let us walk her back. Etz Chaim hi lamachazitim ba. V'tomchei hameushar. Chadesh yameinu kekedem.
Chadesh yameinu.
When we sing Avinu Malkeinu in a few moments, our Father, our King, our great parent, our authority, I have a hunch it will feel different having brought this Abrahamic story into our core today. But before we do so, I want to invite us to breathe and spaciously sit. We want to invite Benjamin, one of our community leaders, to address us before we wrap the day.
Hello, good morning. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
It's an honor to speak with you this morning on this special day. My name is Benjamin, as you heard.
Benjamin, we can't really hear you, so either hold the mic or get it a little closer.
Got it, got it.
There you
need to
go.
hold the mic, speak into the mic, and hold my paper.
There you go.
It's lots of work to do. So I have to make a confession. In the honor and spirit of the season, my confession is I have a huge Zoom crush on all of you. There, I said I feel so much better now. Y'all are not exempt. I started attending Lab Shul events in March of 2021, so most of my Lab Shul experience is on Zoom. This will be my second high holiday season with you all, and there really is nowhere else I'd rather be than right here, right now. But as much as I want to talk to you about my Zoom crush, I've been given a task. I'm going to talk to you about money. Yes, money. And how important it is to Lab Shul. This is actually a bit of a busman's high holiday for me because that is what I do in civilian life. I raise money for organizations. And so what I hope I'm offering this morning will be helpful. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only one who have said this, but Lab Shul may be God optional, but it is not heart optional, nor vision optional, nor aspiration optional. And that was demonstrated by our spiritual leaders, as well as our board and Sarah, and that incredible challenge that they've given us. It's our turn, and it's our turn to meet their aspirations. We all want to financially support Lab Shul, but too often we feel that we don't have the resources. We feel that somebody else has more resources and they can make the difference. But Lab Shul is a community, it's a partnerhood. We all bring what we can. We all bring what we can to this effort with as much creativity as we can. And I'll tell you, there may be ways that we can participate at a greater level than we thought, without committing more than we should. So first, here's a little breezy, easy tip. Consider spreading out your gift over 4 quarterly payments, or even 12 bite-sized, or as they say, with Halloween candy, fun-sized monthly payments. Now, this is more complicated, but this is another breezy, easy option to look beyond your checkbook or your credit card. Consider that sleepy retirement account. You may have inherited an account, or you may be of the age where you have to take a required minimum distribution every year. And if so, and if you can forego that income, you can consider directing your required distribution right to Lab Shul. By doing that, you skip the IRS, and your giving power just increased by 15, 20, maybe 30%. Now, I did the math this morning, and with this match, that means something like $90 value to you right now is $360 value to Lab Shul. Just saying. Now, don't be intimidated by the process. It's as easy as filling out a check or filling out a credit card form. And I know there'll be more details on this on the website soon. But also, you should talk to your professional who you talk to about these things, because they know best how to help you. But regardless how much you give this year, I have no doubt that you will all be as generous as you can be. And I hope these ideas have opened new ways of thinking about your capacity for generosity. I'm so very grateful for your companionship in building this beautiful community. And to quote a morning prayer, Ma tovu oalecha Yaakov mishkanatecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, Jacob, your dwelling places, Yisrael. How good is this dwelling place, Lab Shul. And so with love, I wish you all a happy, happy new year. And may you be inscribed for all the best in this coming year. Thank you.
Benjamin, thank you. I know it's a strange shift from the shofar to the pitch, but Reverend Derek and I have been talking about what it would be like if we brought passing the plate to Lab Shul. So stay tuned. But thank you for your generosity of spirit and for helping us, whether you paid to be here or if you are a guest, be here all year round. That QR code sends you to resources and to our website and to how to donate. Thank you for all the love. We're going to open the ark and our hearts for one last round of prayers, including Avinu Malkeinu and the Kaddish, before we get to raise a glass together. And a few minutes late, make our way into the river to shed the past away. So we're going to invite you to rise, if you are able, to Avinu Malkeinu. Ben, I'm opening the ark in your name. May all our prayers for, what are you praying for this morning? Say it out loud, including abundance. Be heard. Say them out loud. What are you praying for this morning? What do you want this year? Don't be shy. Whisper to each other. What do you want? I'm opening the ark. Come on. Put it in there.
In the arms of the mother, the great waters of the mother, in the arms of the mother, I lay down.
Aleinu. Aleinu.
Aleinu, it's on us. It's on us to manifest racial justice in our community, and that's work that each one of us as individuals needs to do and work that we need to do in community. My name is Alexis Ortiz, she, her. I'm a member of READ, which is the Racial Equity Action Delegation here at Lab Shul. And over the last 9 months, we've been working together to uncover and identify opportunities for growth and development within our community. And we're excited to bring more of you into this work. So keep your eyes open in your inboxes for a new expression of interest. We want to welcome more people into this work together. And if you're interested to learn more, you can come talk to me, or you can reach out to Sam. That's sam@labshul.org. Aleinu, it's on us.
Thank you, Alexis. As we stand here today on the first day of the year with our hearts open, we bring to our hearts those who this past year have passed. And on this day, we remember our parents and grandparents, ancestors and teachers, friends, those for whom a Kaddish has been said and those for whom a Kaddish has never been mentioned. This is our way to be in sacred space, honoring the past and standing with the mourners, and on this first day of the new year, connect the worlds. If you are saying Kaddish right now, for any reason, we are saying it together with you, and we're inviting the rest of us here and at home to say Kaddish together. May our hearts be healed with all the losses we've endured. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח, יתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, אלה ולעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו, יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, היא תעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. So in a moment, we're going to ask Jake and his parents to come up and help us raise a glass of wine. Larry and Karen, it's been a moment since his bar mitzvah. He's taller than all three of us, but come on up to raise a glass of wine and break some bread together. We are wrapping up this first day of Rosh Hashanah. Thank you for being with us. A couple of announcements. In just a few moments, we will step outside where there will be some challah and some refreshments. Very little this year, but honey will be there. You know, it's a lean year. You can help us. But from there, we're going to go to the river. Ben Freeman, our associate clergy, and all of us are going to lead us down to the river to shed the past. Tashlich is a favorite. Join us then. Tomorrow, Shofar across Brooklyn with Rabbi David Klein and Naomi Les. More Shofar. She's waiting for you. Shiviti Soul Spa on Wednesday at 12 noon on Zoom. As Ben has mentioned, I will be there for our ongoing virtual space of a half hour of Shiviti to be present into Yom Kippur. will be here on Yom Kippur. All the information on the website. Use that QR code. And on it already is information for the rest of the year. Thank you for being here in all ways of presence. I will, that's it. I think I've done my mentions of announcements. So are we ready to raise a glass?
Yeah.
Lord knows I am. So Jake and Larry, who's been on our governance committee helping us create a brand new board, and Karen, Mazal Tov, Shana Tova, hey boy chick. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Phil. Oh, the feast team is in the house. All right, we're going to raise one glass, and we'll do shots a little bit later. Can we reveal the challah? Yay. So friends, may this be a year of abundance, and all the things that you prayed and asked for, think of them one more time. What do you want this year? You know what it is? Please shout it out into this cup. Heard. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam borei peri hagafen. Take a sip, my friends. And a little challah action. Feast team over here. Molly, do you want some challah? Okay, guess not. It's got honey. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Let them have bread in honey. Phil, if you take your mask off, you get the first bite. Let there be honey all year long, my friend. With this fruit, we wish you Shana Tova. Please go wish somebody you don't yet know Shana Tova. At home, thank you for joining us. Thank you, team. Shana Tova. What's up? Shana Tova. Yes.